How's it going? This is Gary McNulty for his Softwares or Advanced Security Assignment 2 demonstration. So the first section of the assignment was to use Kali Linux and to perform some tests or use some different security tools on Kali Linux for different things. So the first one I tried to use was John the Ripper, and John the Ripper is basically a password cracker, so it can be used to crack different types of passwords. So I tried this on like files and existing like zip files with passwords on them in Linux, and it seemed to work mostly. So some of the different types you have are brute force attempts, so it's just attempting just different characters or existing passwords. Say if you give it a password list or like a dictionary of passwords, it will try to do them. The dictionary files are like um, common passwords that people use all the time. So say password test 1 2 3 4, they'll all be in a dictionary and they all get tried like in a brute force manner against a login. Then password rules. So say a password needs it has to have a capital letter, it needs to have one symbol, and it has to have um yeah, so something like that. So once it has a capital letter and a symbol and a number, you could have that as password rule. So it'll only try passwords in that manner. So that way you're getting rid of all the other possibilities and there's less wasting time. So down the bottom you can see John dash dash single password file. So that's trying to do a single crack against the password file, and then underneath is one that is using a dictionary list. So it's going to that dictionary and checking those existing password files, and then it's using rules, some specified rules as well, against the password file. So part two was I use NetMap and Nmap network mapper, and basically it's a tool to discover open ports and security flaws in like so network systems. So first of all, you need to get their IP address. So once you have the IP address of like any domain on the web, you can stick it into Nmap as seen below there. So Nmap, you stick in the minus A minus V are just different like selection tools or variables that you can, or basically just give you back different information, and then you give it in an IP address then, and then it will ping the IP address and then discover whether there's any accessible ports to exploit. Now there'll be loads of ports, some of them won't be able to be exploited, some will, so you just have to figure that out yourself. But it's a very very popular tool for discovering like the faults or exploits possibly in a system. Metasploit. So next is Metasploit, and it's a penetration testing tool piece of software, and it's very popular among penetration testers in the world. So here's a code example of that would be to use dbmap minus f, and then you stick in your IP address again, and then this gives you back all the information about this. So it's ports, it's the amount of services, what's hosting, all these kind of details come back with it, and then you can even specify hosts, and it'll tell you what hosts are running on that IP address and then what services are running by that IP address. And then once you have that information, then you can potentially make security or secure or attacks against the company or whatever web domain it is. And here are some examples of running the services and hosts code after you have run the initial dbmap command. Um, yeah, so there you can see like what ports are open: port 22, 53, 80. So all these different stuff, the MAC addresses, IP addresses, um, the names of some connections. So very useful tool. Then part three was to run some exploits on the damn vulnerable web application. So basically it's a web application for people to go and test and to try to practice basically their hacking techniques. So you can do SQL injection attacks, which is just injecting directly into the code. You can do cross-site scripting, cross-site request forgery. These are just a fraction of the attacks that you can have. So here's an SQL injection example. So you can put in any kind of malicious code into that and submit it, and it will could potentially be executed if the security mechanisms aren't in place. And because this website is made for this, we know it can be exploited, so it will work. And then cross-site scripting is when you basically give the user something that they shouldn't usually see when they go onto the website, and then that is your hacking of them. And that is all for this demo, and thank you.